This video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Yeah, I think we got some good shots here. Right? Yep. Wait till that. Damn, this is so good already. All right. Good. Pose that you did when you were looking at the window. Those, like sitting on your butt or whatever.
Should you buy the Sigma 20mm f1.4? This is what we're going to talk about today. Let's go over some of the pros and cons of this lens. Let's start off with the cons first. This baby's big and heavy. It's a big and heavy lens. The lens does not accept an ND filter, which kills me because this could be such a great video lens for a gimbal because you're shooting at f1.4 at a 20mm focal length. I wish you could put an ND filter, a screw-on ND filter on it, but you can't. So that's also a big bummer. The lens does suffer from a decent amount of chromatic aberration like most lenses do at this aperture. The negative thing that I noticed with this lens that it didn't really focus too well on my Sony a7R III, and I'm using the native 20mm Sigma here, the native one, and it didn't focus that good on my Sony a7R III. All right, let's go over some of the pros of this lens. It's a $900 piece of glass. Some of you might think that's expensive. I think that's a reasonably priced lens considering that it's a 20mm at f1.4. It's a very exotic combination. So I think $900 is pretty reasonable. My favorite part of this lens is the perspective that it gives you. And that's why I might actually own it one day. It's what I call a macro environmental lens, if that makes any sense. Now, the minimum focusing distance of this lens is 10 inches, 10.9 inches to be exact. But you can still get close enough to something. Let's say you're at a wedding and you're taking detail shots, or let's say you're taking pictures of a bridesmaid bouquet or something. You can get really close up to whatever it is, and then you'll still have the entire scene. You can still see the entire scene because it's so wide, and you can shoot at f1.4 and you can still see what's going on, but it still falls into nice blur. And I'm telling you, that's the perspective of this lens is why I might own it. It's such a cool focal length, especially at that 1.4 aperture. All right, a huge pro of this lens is the image quality. Are you surprised? Are any of us surprised? Sigma is always putting out great image quality. This lens is no exception. It puts out really good. It renders really beautiful. And one thing that really surprised me, 20mm, you're expecting to get a lot of distortion, right? This lens doesn't have that much distortion. When you hit the profile corrections in Lightroom, you're gonna see the pipes kind of straighten out a little bit, and you see a lot of heavy vignette on the sides, but hey, that's just normal. And there is very minimal distortion on this lens, which it's really impressed me. I know that a zoom lens will more than likely have more distortion than this lens does. So you buying this lens, you're gonna get pretty good distortion control. At the end of the day, I think that this lens caters to wedding shooters, astro photographers, cityscape photographers, landscape photographers, peoplescape photographers, people that really like to show the landscape. I did shoot portraits with it, but I only did it just to test out the image quality. All right, I need to send a huge shout out to my sponsor for this video, NordVPN. If you've never heard of them, it's time to learn a little bit about them, because what they do is protect you and me on the internet. And what they do is encrypt your network traffic so that it's impenetrable, and those shady people on the internet that are trying to get your personal information cannot get access to it. I log on to a lot of public Wi-Fi's when either I go to Starbucks or I go to a hotel. That's when I'm super vulnerable to someone just hacking into my stuff and getting my personal info. The great thing about it is that they can secure up to 6 devices, your desktops, your laptops, cell phones, tablets, whatever. You check the link down below and use the coupon code Manny. NordVPN will protect you up to 3 years for $2.99 a month plus a free month. You can't beat it. Seriously, you cannot beat it. Make sure to check them out. Again, thank you for sponsoring this video. You let me know what other lens I should review down below in the comment section. I'll see you later. Peace.